Hello everyone, welcome to Professional Math Junior. I'm Isaac, and this is an App Inventor tutorial on how apps remember multiple data using just one variable. The app we are going to do today is called the shopping list. You can add items, and then you can update the items, and also you can delete them when you have bought them. Let's get into the app creation. Let's start with the designer. You can see that I have the banner already in the project. You can pause the video and replicate the designer and find your own pictures first. Don't worry, you have learned all these components and concepts in the previous lessons. I believe you can do this. If you really want to start this copy too, feel free to contact us. We are happy to send you the copy and the revision materials. Ready? Let's start. Before we start, I would like to introduce you to a component called list view. List view is a component that shows you a list of elements, and it can sense users selecting one of the elements. It's in the user interface folder here. First, we should rename it to items LV. Next, we should set its height to 60%. If it is too small, we can just only see a little part of the elements. If we set it to 60%, we can see most of the elements here. Next, let's add a horizontal arrangement. It's down at the layout. We should set its width to fill parent. That way, we can see all the components inside. Let's add a text box inside. We should rename it to item underscore PV. The purpose of this text box is for the people to type what they want to buy inside. We should also rename its hint to wish item. Next, let's add a button. And we should rename the button to add underscore BTN. The purpose of this button is to add things inside the shopping list. Also set the text to add. Then add another button inside and also rename it to update BTN. The purpose of this button is for the users to update the things inside the shopping list. Let's set the text inside to update. Nice. Also, put another button inside. And rename it to delete. Sorry, it's bot. BTN. Also rename the text to bot. The purpose of this button is for the people to remove the things inside the list that they have bought. Nice, the designer part is done. Let's go to the block part. Remember, we have learned the three basic types of data: number, string, and boolean. Today we are going to learn the very basic data structure, list. List is basically a data structure that contains multiple items inside. We can have many strings or many numbers in the list, or even a mix of numbers and strings. So, let's start coding this app. First, we need to create a variable to store all the items the users want to buy. So, let's rename the variable to items. And initially, it should be an empty list. So let's get this out. It is a create empty list. Nice. Next, we want to add the user input into the list when users click the Add button. So let's get this out when Add button .click. But before adding it, we need to make sure the text box is not empty. So let's get the if then out and put it here. We should get the text of the item TB text. So let's get the text here. There's a block in App Inventor called is empty that will check if the text box is empty or not. So let's get this out. But in this case, we need to check if it is not empty. So let's get the not out also. Nice. Let's put it inside the if. So after checking, we can add the items into the list. So we can go to the list drawer here. Get a block called add items to list inside the if. This time, we are adding item TB text to the variable items. So let's get global variable items and then also get the text of the item TB, which is down over here. After adding it, we can ask the list view to show all the items, that is setting the elements of the items LV to the variable items. So here, let's get elements, and we should set it to get global items and put it inside. Last action for adding items, we can erase the text in the text box so the users can easily type something else. So let's set the text here to blank over here. Nice. We have done the add item function. Let's start making the bot function. For the bot function, if the users haven't selected an item, they should not be able to click the bot button. So when the app is started, we should disable the bot button. So when screen 1 initializes, we should set the bot button enabled to false. False is inside the logic. And when an item is selected from the list view, when this item LV after clicking, then we can enable the bot button. And we should set it to true. So when the bot button is clicked, which is over here, we should remove the selected item from the variable, which is inside here, called remove list item by list and index. So, for example, if we selected the second item in the list view, the selection index will be 2. So we can use the selection index to remove the selected item. In this case, it is the selection index inside here. And we should use get global items in this case. After removing an item, we can ask the list view to show the updated item list. We can actually duplicate this block from the when add button click block. So inside here, you can find elements here. We should set the elements here to get global items. Don't forget to disable the bot button too. So we'll have to, we can duplicate this and then move it down here. Nice. Let's go into the last function of this app, updating the item. Similar to the bot function, The update button should be enabled only when the user selects an item. So when the app is started, disable it. Duplicate this and change this to update button. And put it inside. And also enable the update button when an item is selected. So also duplicate this and change this to update button. And then drag it back inside. So when the update button is clicked, we want to replace the selected item by the input from the users. Let's duplicate when add button clicked, which is over here, and change it to update button. And let's drag these out. And also delete this one and replace it by replace list item, which is over here, inside here. So the replacement is the text in item TB. The list is get global items, and the index should be the selection index, which is here. Selection index. Don't forget to disable the bot button and update button when the replacement is done. So here, let's duplicate this and get these code out and put it down inside here and delete this one. Also, remember to disable the update button when the bot button is clicked. So let's get these code, duplicate them, and put it inside. And change this one to update button. Nice, we have done the app. Let's try it. So let's do a little recap of what we've learned today. We started off by learning about the list view component. It's a component in App Inventor which can show a list of elements and also sends a selection from the users. Second, we learned the basic data structure in the programming world. It's a list. This can contain multiple data inside it. If you want to know one of the items, we can get it using the index. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the project. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get daily contents. I'm Isaac, and this is Preface Nomad Jr.